Hey everybody, Dr. Mary Renzel here, owner of Brain Fresh. Let's go. This is for docs. All right. This is for my women docs out there. We all need to band together and get this figured out, right? Okay. So today we are going to talk about the fact that time's up, right? Time is up for docs, for women docs right now, because the time is up for us to stop thinking that we have to learn everything ourselves, that we have to navigate, figure this out ourselves, because the literature is out there. So let's go. So today we're going to talk about how we're going to find focus, how we're going to build support, how we can take a deep breath so we can leave an impact in this world, so we can find our meaningful work, right? And then we're just going to have a few little tips on how to mind your head, because I love to share the neuroscience of professional development for women docs, just to make your path a little easier, right? All right, so let's talk about an article. It was published in 2023. My notes here, so I don't mess anything up. So let's go together. Okay, so it's published in 2023 in the Journal of Medical Internet Research. And so it is called Empowering the Invisible. That's a sad title because it means the women docs are invisible. And what they're talking about, especially in this article, are mid-career docs. So what are the options for mid-career docs? What is happening in mid-career to women docs? Okay, so this article suggested that there's a lot of developmental opportunities early in career, and then there's this gap in the middle where they called it invisible. The women docs at that point were feeling invisible. Do you agree? Put in the comments. Is that an invisible time for you? It's probably a very busy time. I mean, mid-career, it's always hard to know where to mark that mid-career. I'm 30 years in as a neuroimmunologist, so I'm not mid, although sometimes that term comes up. I am probably late. you know. But okay, so the suggestion in this article that is the title is Empowering the Invisible, Development for Mid-Career Women in Medicine. They were suggesting that they need to actively learn, receive that 360 feedback. Put in the comments if you've ever had the opportunity to have 360 feedback. So 360 is you ask a bunch of people who are around you at different levels that experience you in the workplace. How do they experience you? What do they find? And they give their own feedback about you, and it's all put together, and you get a report from multiple people, hopefully more than at least 10 to 15 people. So you can understand how people how they experience you in the workplace at different levels. So generally, you have people who work with you day to day, work with you maybe as a leader, your leader, and maybe work with you from different angles and different places. So you get lots of opinions, and you put that together. So in this program, they had the mid-career women docs actively learning about career development. They had them receiving 360-degree feedback. They had them one-on-one coached. So they were working with a coach one-on-one, which is, I think, so valuable. I was just at an event last night and I do coach women docs. So if you have any questions about that, you can always reach out to me at thebrainfresh@gmail.com. I'm a trained business coach. So I'd love to help docs, kind of figure out like, is a business in your future? Would it help you? Does it give you more freedom or flexibility? We can talk about that. And I do application-based coaching, so we would have a call first to make sure that that I can help you on your journey. Anywho, so they were one-on-one coached in this program, which is so valuable. So last night at this event, it was an event with women docs. This doc was saying, we were just sharing, how valuable it is to have an hour with a coach, just you and that coach, and just going back and forth and having time to think without interruptions. Come on. I mean, when do women docs have that opportunity? At work, one day I counted how many ways people could get to me, and there were 12 ways. So it's kind of like living in a house with all your doors and windows open, and people can just get to you so many ways so that it's hard to focus. It's hard to, hit a goal because there's so many people disturbing you. And we've learned, the research suggests every time we're interrupted, it may take a full 90 seconds, they say, to get back to that level of concentration. So 12 channels of people coming at me when I'm at work, for great reasons, for important reasons. But yet it's hard then to really focus through the day with interruptions. Okay. So in this program, again, they were actively learning about professional development. They were receiving feedback through that 360-degree method. They were getting one-on-one coached, that magical, amazing experience of having people listen to you and give you feedback and reflect back what you're saying, and that you actually have time to think about what's going on in your life, what's important to you. So coaching, I think, is just a wonderful tool, not an easy tool, hard to learn, complete mind shift from being a doctor, because a doctor, we're usually listening to facts, looking at the data, and then making, giving people like, here's what I want you to do, here's the steps. Coaching, no, you can't give them the steps, right? You have to you have to listen and reflect, and they come up with the steps. And so that took me a long time. That's why I got Hello 7 coach trained for a year. I dove deep into that training because I wanted to feel really very effective as a coach. And so it's a wonderful opportunity to have that experience, as we were talking about last night, how special that is to have someone just one-on-one, someone listening to you and reflecting back to you and giving you time to, think about what is important to me now, what's going on, like why do I do that, who could I look towards that lives a life like I want, or who handles a situation like I like it. What are my mindset blocks I'm not even thinking about? So coaching is great for that. Okay. So the rest of the article was called Accelerating Leadership Development for Mid-Career Women in Medicine. And so that was their findings, and that if they consistently use these things, so that was actively learning about professional development, the 360 feedback, and the one-on-one coaching, they had all these testimonials about what happened later to the folks that went through this program. They wrote more grants, they did, more higher level presentations, they published more, they felt empowered to keep going and building and designing and feeling vital. So I would say I had a similar experience. I was in a retreat one time, and we had the opportunity to take Clifton Strengths. So if you're not familiar with that, just Google it, Clifton Strengths or Strength Finder. You may have heard of that one. But in Clifton Strengths, you take time just to answer not a lot of questions. It's like $30. Highly recommend. So definitely check out your Clifton Strengths if you've never done that. And you get a report, and it tells you, depending which one you decide to do, but it tells you what are your 5 top strengths. And in this retreat, they suggested, it was a women doc leadership retreat. They suggested that we grow from our strengths. You know how when you typically like think about, why are you a leader? Why aren't you a leader? Where could you learn? Where could you keep growing? We tend to think of the negatives, why we can't do it. It's just what the brain does. The brain likes to think of the negatives. What is keeping us back from going forward with our, putting our name out there for the next position, or thinking about what our next steps are, or feeling a little brave or courageous and do something we haven't done before? Typically, the brain's like, ooh, 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 no, thank you. And that a lot of times is a metabolic thing. Yes, my nails have brains on them. So I just want you to see. My daughter did that. So I won't have them for long. So you might as well enjoy them while they're here. Okay. Okay. I do love braids, as you can see. Um, so back to the brain reacting to ideas of changing things. Well, the brain doesn't like it because it's a metabolic organ, right? It is an organ between our ears. And if you're asking it to learn some leadership capabilities and skills, it will say like, no thanks, I'm already running your whole body, I'm remembering all this stuff for you, I'm planning your whole family's like holidays and vacations for the year, and I'm taking care of teams, and I'm taking care of 2,000 patients. So no thank you, I don't want to do that. I have enough going on between my ears. So the brain will a lot of times give us about 100 reasons why we don't want to go ahead for that leadership position or learn something new, because indeed it's busy. It's like a busy parent, right? So sometimes we have to give the brain what it needs. Yes, the nails. It just reminds you what your brain is going through. It's managing all your organ systems, right? It's already doing a million things. So now you want to be a leader. So the brain is like, no, thank you. I have enough going on here. I'm just trying to get you through the day, right? And so what we can do is, number one, take a deep breath and think, I'm going to learn about my strengths, especially today, because they may change over the years. If you're mid-career, like this article is talking about, check your Clifton Strengths. Go to Strength Finders, look it up, Clifton Strengths if you need it. Write to me at thebrainfresh@gmail.com. I'm glad to send you the link. It's like $30, or some of them are $18 if you do the real quick one. You are worth it, right? You are worth that much money. So you can get a list of what you're really good at and then build from there and keep it on your desk and know what your highlights of your strengths are. Okay? Um, okay, so that's number one. So you're gonna do the Clifton Strengths, and if you haven't done it in 5 years, do it again. Get a fresh one because you've built skills, you've learned things, and you can see where you are today. It's important as a women doc to know where you are, what are your skills. If you're like a big, beautiful tree, what are your roots? Like, what is keeping you growing? What is happening so that you are building strong roots so you can grow? So, number one, a way to build those strong roots, check your Clifton strengths. Know what you're good at. It's way more fun to learn by building strengths. It's a positive. We like to go toward positive. If something is negative, like if you think of all the negative things you don't know, we avoid, right? Because the brain sees that as it's going to take a lot of metabolism. It's going to take a lot of energy to do that. And it's already busy. So there's no time for that. It'll tell you. Okay, Clifton Strengths, check it out. Number two, take one action to build your confidence. Courage, most of the time, comes from an action. So you see the example of how you can go ahead. So if you say, I'm a courageous person, maybe first you need to take an action to show yourself, I am a courageous person. First, or sometimes you need to make a list of things you've done. If you're a woman doc, come on, you've done a lot of scary things that people can't even imagine doing, right? And think of all the school you've been through and all the tests you've taken and all the folks you've interacted with and the rooms you've entered and the people you've helped through really scary times in their lives. And so, women docs, just make a list then of all the amazing things you've done or take a new action in an area you haven't been in before. It doesn't even have to be professional development. Like I'm learning how to play mahjong. Okay, it's a new area. I'm learning. I could just say, oh, no, I might look silly. I'm not, I'm going to be the newbie. And that's the third thing is when we learn, we have to acknowledge that there are going to be emotions. We're going to have thoughts. We're going to tell ourselves a story. Again, the brain is trying to conserve energy between our ears. So that's why it'll say, like, no, we're not doing this now. We don't have time. We're busy. Okay. So three things, docs, we talked about time's up. Time's up in thinking that you have to solve everything, that you have to learn this yourself. The literature already shows us what to do. So let's just follow the literature on career development and staying vital as a women doc and keeping life interesting. Okay, that's what I love to share. So if you hit like and subscribe on this video, so more docs can find this, so we can just keep growing and stay in an active, vital community, right? I like to use neuroscience to make your path in medicine a little smoother, a little more fun, a little more full of smiles. So let's, number one, uh, check out your Clifton strengths and lead with your strengths. Okay. Number two, take an action, a small action, like a little courage builder. Okay. That could just be your challenge for today. One new thing. And number three, acknowledge the emotion with that new thing. Okay. And watch the stories that you tell ourselves, that we tell ourselves when we're trying to grow. We don't have time, we don't have the money, we don't have the energy. It's not our place to grow. We're already doctors. These are some of the stories that will come out of between your ears. These stories will come out and you can say, hey, here's the facts. I've learned, I've grown, I'm going to keep growing. I'm good at learning, I'm good at growing. I'm going to build a team. I'm going to grow together with fun people and keep life interesting because we can have brains on our nails, right? Okay, so you got this. So like and subscribe, and just know that I have a free membership right now for women docs. The link is in the video. I'd love to see you on the inside. I'd love to share tips, make life actionable and simple, and use neuroscience strategies. So time's up, right? We don't have to solve this all ourselves. Everybody's running around trying to figure out how to stay vital as a woman doc. Well, the research is out there. We got this. Okay. All right. Well, thanks for coming. I'm proud of you. Thanks for all you do. Whenever I'm a patient, I'm really grateful. Whenever my family members are patients, I'm grateful for all that you do. So thank you for being a woman doc. And go ahead and do those three things we talked about. You got it. Like and subscribe as well.